What's good, everybody? What's up, man? It's Stephen Qualls II, aka Mr. Qualified. It's your boy. You feel me? And we are back for another episode of Behind the Brand. Man, really excited to talk to y'all this week. This topic has kind of been on my mind the past couple of days, so I really wanted to kind of touch on it and dive into it, and hopefully, me working through it, help y'all if y'all are dealing with the same thing. So this week, I really want to focus on insecurities. I feel like insecurities are things that aren't talked about enough in the context of content creators, entrepreneurs, that whole industry, that realm of people. I feel like it's automatically just kind of assumed that you're just not supposed to be insecure, or that you can't be, and that's just unrealistic. I think all of us have things that we are insecure about, and especially when you talk about starting something, whether that be a business, a platform, a podcast, or whatever the case may be. There are so many thoughts, there's so many questions, it's so easy to doubt yourself. It's so easy to doubt that people will care about something the way that you care about something. And the truth of the matter is that you're right. Like, there's gonna be people that don't care. There's gonna be, or not don't care, there's gonna be people that don't see things in the same light as you do. There's gonna be people that don't have the same fire, intensity, and passion for what you're doing or what you're talking about. And that shouldn't dictate how hard you work, or that shouldn't dictate your goals and where you want whatever it is that you're working on, or whatever it is that you're doing, where you want it to go. I know for me, there were a multitude of insecurities that I dealt with leading up to kind of like this rebrand and this revamp of QUALLified starting last August. And QUALLified, for you all that have really been with it from the beginning, QUALLified has been around since 2015, and the website and content and things like that were active in 2017, 2018. There's been these long gaps in between. So as I was thinking about how I wanted to rebrand and revamp and really bring the brand back, and knowing that I want to be consistent, and knowing that I wanted it to be prominent in the sense of having a very solidified space within my network and my community, there was a lot I second guessed and that I doubted. I wasn't sure if people would take me seriously because I've had so many kind of start and stops. I wasn't sure if people would care about listening to 45-minute hour conversations. I know that there is something to take away from what I'm doing, but I also understand that there's a lot of people who just may not see it that way, who just may not be interested. It may not appeal to them, and that's okay, because if I went off of everybody who it didn't appeal to, everybody who didn't pay attention to everything that was going on, QUALLified wouldn't have experienced and seen the growth that it has thus far. So that's one aspect of insecurity that I dealt with. And then another aspect was, in doing clothing, like, recently last week, we released the merch for QUALLified. So if you haven't, went and cop that, you definitely should. But in doing that, I'm not a fashion designer. I'm not a clothing designer. I don't have these crazy ideas I want to necessarily put into clothing. For me, it was just, I wanted something that had my logo on it that people could wear in support of what the brand is about and what the brand is doing. And so that was even me stepping out of my comfort zone, even dealing with trying to figure out what products I wanted, placement of logo, and even in its simplicity, it's still something that I never really saw myself doing, and I was insecure about that, because it's like, who am I to sell this hoodie, or who am I to ask somebody to wear this shirt or this hat or these sweatpants or whatever with my logo on it, like, why? And I had to get out of that. I had to break that habit of asking myself why I'm doing something that I love, why I'm doing something that I'm passionate about. Don't nobody else got to tell me, or I don't need permission from anybody else to do something that I'm passionate about, or that I love, or something that was on my heart to do. Like, I can make that decision, and it's only up to me. So I mean, my message, my advice, if if it's for somebody, who needs it, is that, insecurities are real. So, don't ignore them or don't act like they don't exist, because they do. But it's a healthy way that you can face them. And just remember that in every, insecurity is just a challenge to see that and see better and see more in yourself. And that's really what you should strive to do. There's no insecurity that's stronger than, the talents and the gifts that God has given you. And just remember that every time you doubt yourself, every time you question yourself, just remember, God gave you these talents, God gave you these gifts, God gave you that vision, because he knew that you could see it through. He knew that you were going to figure out a way to make it happen. So remember that, and together, we can, figure out how to break down these insecurities and leave them in the beginning of this year, and leave them in 2020, for all I care. But yeah, that's my message for y'all this Friday. I hope y'all can take something from that, and I hope I helped anybody that's out there that's been dealing with, insecurities just like I have. And yeah, we gonna get through this together. So until next week, until next time I'm in front of this camera for y'all, I'll catch y'all, man. Peace.